Hitting the wall isn't just a term for going to the student pub anymore. Around campus, students are finding themselves at a dead stop when it comes to getting information from the Student Center and their elected government. Recent lawsuits, impeachments of both Canadore and Nipissing presidents, and overhaul of student constitutions have revealed the lack of information provided by elected officials and their staff. Recent interviews with Student Center General Manager Todd Fernley show that lack of information isn't all students have to worry about, but even misinformation. Fernley told CRTV that Canadore students do not have access to financial information because they are not paying members of the Student Center.
The Student Center doesn't receive fees.
So you get no money at all from Register?
Nothing. Zip, nothing.
So we can't see where our money goes?
What money?
The money that we pay in
fees?
Yes.
Student Center doesn't receive fees.
Registrar's Dan Alexander, who collects student tuition fees, says otherwise.
Yes, it's part of your tuition fee. You're part of the Student Center by paying into the Student Center fees. Every student that is part of our ancillary fee policy within the college that we have, those 4 fees are payable by the Student Center.
Attempts to acquire a copy of the Canadore Student Representative Council governance package by CRTV have been denied repeatedly since November of last year. Following the impeachment of Megan Burns, CRTV was originally told the package had been destroyed to avoid interference of the recently amended document. However, an office copy of the document provided this week had an effective date of October 2006.
It's supposed to be online shortly. Our website has been down, just like Nipissing University Student Union.
Yeah.
It's been down, and we were trying to get that fixed. We just had a meeting on Monday with Nordev, and it will be going online.
Although Fernley says they are trying to make the documents available online, the company that runs the website, Nordev, says the material has never been sent. Students at Nipissing have met similar obstacles. History major Peter McGill has taken the next step and filed a grievance with the company's and personal properties security branch.
Well, a bunch of students. We've gotten together a couple of times now, and all of us individually have gone in and asked for information. And repeatedly we've been denied access to information. So looking up online what the Corporation Act allows us, what processes we have to go through to access information, this was one of our options.
Stay tuned for part 2 of our coverage on transparency in student government to ensure that closed books don't become a habit on campus. Tim Dowdle, CRTV News North Bay.
If local student unions are looking to become North Bay's Newsmaker of the Year, they're off to a great start. Over the past few months, Nipissing University Student Union and Canadore Student Representative Council have created headline news stories repeatedly. First, on November 8th, Csrc President Megan Burns was impeached for habitual lateness and non-performance of duties and replaced by VP Internal Jamie Penno. 8 days later, Nusu President Karl Marsh was also impeached for lateness of scheduled office hours, breach of finance, and breach of duties of the President. Marsh was replaced by VP Internal Sean Ferreticki before students swarmed the next Nusu meeting, demanding answers and forcing the meeting into an auditorium to accommodate nearly 300 confused students. Student outcry soon escalated to outrage, forcing General Manager Todd Fernley to abstain from his vote on Nusu's council until a review of his position of vote is completed by a consulting group. Fernley did not relinquish his vote on Canadore's Student Union Council. Nipissing President Dennis Mock, who's familiar with conflict in student government, says there is something different about the way this one has been handled.
I spent a long time at Ryerson, and we had 2 newspapers, daily newspapers at Ryerson, because of a big journalism school. And there were differences of opinion within the student union constantly. So that type of thing is very, very positive if it's done in the right frame of mind and done in a very open and communication-free environment. In this particular case, there's obviously been some things done which I don't fully understand.
Both Burns and Marsh intended to appeal the decisions. Marsh was successful, but Burns' appeal was denied because it was handed to an office secretary and not directly to Fernley. Burns left the school and the city rather than returning for the winter semester. Many students on campus have asked why college and university officials have not stepped in. However, Canadore College President Barb Taylor explained it would not be right for her to interfere with student governance.
To be blunt about it, as president of the college, it's none of my business. I cannot interfere with student government. Student government exists by legislation and by regulation, and if I in any way, shape, or form interfere with student governor, in fact, I'm breaking the regulations. And that.
In the following weeks, many students attempted to take control. Campaigns were launched on campus and the internet, questioning the decisions and legality behind both unions' constitution. The end result of the campaign was a lawsuit of over $400,000 by Fernley, accusing Marsh, VP Internal Kyra Knapp, and members of the Canadian Federation of Students and Ryerson University Student Union of defamation of character. The suit against Marsh was recently dropped, with both parties stating to have resolved all issues. However, other suits filed by Fernley have not been addressed. While Marsh and Fernley appear to have settled their differences, many of the questions surrounding Nusu and Csrc still remain unanswered. Tune in tomorrow for the third and final installment of our investigative report into Nusugate. I'm Bill Tremblay for CRTV News. Getting information from Canada's Student Union is like an underage student trying to get a drink at the campus pub. It can't be done. As members of the Canada's Student Union, CRTV asked CSRC President Jamie Penno for copies of the union's governance package, minutes of council meetings, and the corporation's budget. All three documents must be provided by law under the Ontario Corporations Act. Penno said he would provide a copy of the governance package once the law had been confirmed. When Penno was presented with the Corporations Act, he walked away without looking at the document. While a copy of the budget was denied, Penno said the minutes of council meetings would take time to dig out of the archives. Now, 3 weeks later, Penno has not replied to emails requesting the minutes, and the Student Centre secretary said there hasn't been a request made to search the archives. VP External Tyler Norman said he would have no problem providing documents to Canada's students.
I'm not aware of anything being withheld. As far as I know, if a student comes in, they're allowed to have any information that they want. Anything that I have is free for a student of Canada or college as a member of CSRC to look at. Council meetings? Yeah. Yes, I have the minutes of those meetings.
When CRTV met with Norman at his office, we were handed nothing but excuses. The meeting with Norman was quickly taken over by Penno and Nipissing Union President Sean Faraticki. Penno explained there are no copies of the governance package on hand for viewing, and that meeting minutes were being used to be converted into PDF files for the union's website. Minutes from one meeting have since made their way online. Penno also explained the only copy of the budget was locked in Student Centre General Manager Todd Fernley's filing cabinet. Fernley is the only person with a key and is away for surgery. Meanwhile, student elections are at hand, and each candidate is supposed to be provided with their own copy of the governance package. CRTV entered reporter Courtney Heels into the presidential race, but when her scrutineer Jenna Healy went to pick up the package, she was also denied a copy of the rules of government her candidate was running for.
I asked Jamie Penno for it, and another guy running for president, Tyler Norman, he basically stepped up and started butting in on our conversation and was like, got all defensive. He's like, no, you can't take it. It's not allowed to leave the office. So, but at the same time, Courtney Bossard, or whatever her name is, has her own copy, and she got to leave the office with it. So,
students at Nipissing University have been met with similar hurdles when trying to see what their union is up to. Nipissing President Dennis Mock says the dead stop of information shouldn't be the practice.
I feel that freedom of information is a law within this province. And when you have a group of people who are representing the student body, they should be totally accountable to the student body, and there should be very, very few things which are not transparent, open, and information shared.
Students are not the only ones getting the information shaft. The Student Centre agreement between Canada College and CSRC says the union must provide the college with a copy of their budget.
The last time it was shared with the Canada College Board of Governors was in the spring of 2001.
Being denied the facts and figures leaves the question, why is the information being withheld from the public and the students who keep the unions in business? I'm Bill Tremblay for CRTV News.